The simmering political tension appeared to boil over Monday following the move by Senator Dunstan Mungatana to file a censure motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, a move that appears to have further fueled the political climate, with a section of politicians accusing the DP of shooting himself in the foot.
The position of Deputy President must remain of appointment, being appointed by the President. And there will be no all these circus you hear. Deputy President should be an appointee of the President, not a running mate. Because when he becomes a running mate, he feels he's also a president.
Kutu Secretary General Francis Atwoli and Busia County Governor Dr. Paul Otuoma have faulted the DP for allegedly stirring political temperatures. They claim that Gachagua's onslaught is a clear indication that he is opposed to the broad-based government.
Hii Kenya belongs to all of us. Hakuna ile Mkenya ambaye hata kama alipiga kura kivipi hafai kuwa Mkenya. So mimi nataka kuhimiza viongozi wetu wa kimataifa ambao wameanza makali ya kisiasa ambayo ni ya ukabila kwamba hatuwezi kuchukua mkondo huo.
This as the clergy in Siaya called for a political ceasefire, warning the ongoing political chest stamping will trigger ethnic divisions.
I'm appealing to His Excellency the Deputy President and those who are on that line. Please let us tame our tongues and then give the President the honor that is due for them.
They should talk to one another in private, because even their spouses are from the background of faith. So they can consult and talk together and consult and bring peace to the nation.
And you can bet that is continuing to have a ripple effect on matters politics, and we're going to be keeping tabs on the developments. Now, striking lecturers have accused the police of employing brutal force to try and disrupt the strike, which they claim is legitimate. Through the University Academic Staff Union and the Kenya University Staff Union, the Dons claim it was unfortunate that 20 university workers were arrested and several others injured while legitimately trying to present their petition to relevant authorities as dictated by the Constitution.
The demonstrating Dons intended to present a petition to the government turned chaotic when police used tear gas to disperse the crowd before they could march towards Parliament. Despite initial chaos, the demonstrators regrouped at the Parliament buildings, determined to deliver their message. But their efforts were thwarted once again as police returned using tear gas to break up the gathering, leading to chaotic scenes at the Central Business District. During the protest, over 20 university workers were arrested and several others injured during the clash. The unions condemned the incident, claiming they had given prior notice to the police about their peaceful intentions.
It was not necessary for the police to behave in the manner in which they behaved. It is barbaric, it is primitive, it is uncalled for, and the Kenyan police must style up.
A police officer tear gassing Dons? What mistake have we committed? We gave them a notice. I have the notice here. They received this notice. And today we told them to provide us with security.
And we want to tell the police we are still going to do a peaceful procession again. We are not going to stop because of tear gas. Yes. Let them prepare them. We are prepared to walk again.
The lecturers vowing to soldier on, insisting that their voices must be heard by the government.
What is it that the government is afraid of anyway? What is it? Presenting a petition, is that something to scare government? It shouldn't. And if they continue like this, then it makes us believe that there is something that the government is hiding.
The notice is going out for next Monday demonstration because we have not reached Parliament. We have not reached Jogo House. We have not reached Treasury. River Nile shall reach the Mediterranean Sea.
In the petition, public university workers demand for the implementation of the 2021-2025 CBA harmonization of allowances, a 40% automatic annual increment, budget allocations for promotions, and the immediate payment of deferred salaries for Egerton University staff.
Only at the university, that's where you find people are being paid 57% of salary. That is where you find deferred pay. That is where you find somebody stagnating in a position for over 20 years. And university workers are saying no to impunity in our sector.
We want the CS Ministry of Education to budget for promotion and recruitment of 15,000 plus lecturers in public universities. We are waiting for CBC students to join our universities, while we are only a paltry 10,000.
We shall never be divided, for the union takes us home.
That was yesterday with the university dons make do with their challenge there to the government and to authorities to continue working until their demands are met. Actually, that particular report handed over to Parliament. We'll be keeping tabs on that too. Now we cross over to New York, where President William Ruto is urging African nations to end reliance on external aid and critical areas such as healthcare. Now, the head of state says the African nations need to develop their own financing models that can ensure the continent has access to capital that can build quality health infrastructure needed.
Speaking during the launch of the Program for Investment and Financing in Africa in New York, President William Ruto challenged African countries to take charge of their own destiny through breaking free from reliance of nations outside Africa on crucial services such as healthcare.
None of this can be sustained without rethinking how we fund these initiatives. Africa's rights depends on ensuring that our continent has access to capital that can build the healthcare infrastructure that we need.
Highlighting the need for Africa to create its own financing models, particularly for such critical sectors, the head of state criticized the current global economic framework as a relic that forces regions like Africa to restart from a position of disadvantage.
1.4 billion people that live in our continent, to have an organization that is accountable. And it is the reason why we are rethinking the Pan-African Parliament to provide more oversight over the Africa Union Commission.
President William Ruto at the same time lauded emerging partnerships that aim to revolutionize Africa's healthcare system, including AI-powered digital health wallets for all Africans, which he says are clear pathways for Africa's potential to become a global innovation leader.
There cannot be a better place to figure out health, education, and social services than in Africa, where the median age is 19 and a half. That is the place where education means everything. That is the place where health means a lot.
He, however, warned that such initiatives cannot thrive without rethinking their funding, calling on regional leaders to work to attract investment in social sectors like healthcare.
I am also dedicated to working with all of you to find the answers necessary for us to forge a new future.
What are the outcomes of the UNGA? Those are the main questions. And where does Kenya stand, or rather Africa stand, especially when it comes to financing, looking at also matters of climate change? This is also a conversation that is going to continue taking center stage in New York. And later in the year, we're expecting COP29 to also take place in November in Baku, Azerbaijan. Now, the government has not finalized any deal with Adani Holding for the lease of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi says the evaluation committee is looking into the deal, has raised 22 concerns with Adani, among them the proposed concession of 30 years, proposed tax exemption for the Indian firm, and re-engagement of KAA employees, among others. Mbadi says the deal is currently on hold due to pending court cases.
With respect to the matters before the committee,
Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi Monday afternoon appeared before the Senate Committee on Road and Transport over the thorny JKIA Adani deal.
This process is ongoing. As a matter of fact, if it went to conclusion, The Senate would now be investigating a matter that has all the facts presented. But as it is, there are certain aspects of it that could still be ongoing.
CS Mbadi, in a 19-page response, says that the deal between the government and the Indian company is currently under the due diligence stage but has been halted due to an active court case.
That the due diligence, which was supposed to be continuing under Section 27, is now on hold because the matter is in court.
To proceed procedurally, you should have allowed the CS to go through the documents he has brought.
In a heated session that saw a back and forth between the members and the CS.
Please, let's respect each other.
Allow the CS to
If you ask me a question, I've come here, this is a matter of national importance, for heaven's sake. Let us be
the reason why I am reacting to you the way I am is because you've not even seen the
I have not come here.
And you're busy responding. Stop gatekeeping.
I've come here.
These things you can't gatekeep anymore. Stop gatekeeping.
And please,
we must deal with this issue nationally. It's a national important issue.
Supply information, wait for the information. If you don't need it, Kenyans need it.
Revealed that the evaluation committee had identified 22 issues in the proposal and recommended that the issues be addressed by the Adani Airport Holdings Limited at the project development phase.
You are required to provide confirmation that none of these people are listed on World Bank and PPRA list of ineligible firms. Surely that does not mean that they can tell you themselves that we are not listed. That is not the standard.
It was confirmed through checking the website of World Bank.
Among the key recommendations is to have the contracting authority to ensure that the current employees of JKIA are onboarded by the company on priority basis and on better terms.
Further, that the concessionaire gives preference to recruitment of Kenyan nationals in all positions. And I'm sure the honorable members would understand why I'm emphasizing the issue of JKIA employees, because it was very contentious.
Further, Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka claimed that there were other two companies from India and America that expressed interest in the JKIA deal, but the Kenyan government settled for Adani.
And a company called Nexus Logic, they wanted to come to Jomo Kenyatta Airport on the Wednesday, 10th of July 2024. Then they wanted to come to the Mombasa International Airport, and they were going to Kisumu and Eldoret. And this letter is here, it's received by your office.
The only PIP proposal received procedurally at the directorate was the one of Adani of 1st March. In fact, I even mentioned there was an earlier one of 2023.
Treasury has also affirmed that officers from the Treasury, Transport alongside KAA officials are in India interrogating the deal.
There is one officer who, alongside representation from KAA and the Ministry of Transport, went to India for due diligence. And that is the assignment they were given. And that process is still ongoing.
And I want to advise CS Mbadi. We know you just came the other day. Don't carry anybody's cross. If this thing is grey, call it as it is. Run away.
The deal that is now facing a litany of cases has seen former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka move to the court to oppose the alleged lease.
Actually, before you convince the Attorney General to sign the concession, you have to prove that you have complied with the law. And so that will be complied with.
Adani issues. Now the government is ramping up efforts to complete stalled road projects and initiate new projects, crucial for facilitating the movement of people and goods to help accelerate Kenya's economic transformation. Speaking in Kinangop, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, together with Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Churchill, assured Kenyans of speedy completion of the projects, also emphasized the importance of national unity in enhancing development.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki Monday joined forces with Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Churchill, Kinangop MP Kwenya Thuku and other local leaders to celebrate the resumption of the fully funded construction of the 40.5-kilometer engineer Mbiginano Gathara Tulaga Mbirithi Chuma Road project.
Nataka kuamrisha County Commissioner wa hapa Nyandarua ujue ya kwamba wewe ndio unapaswa kuhakikisha kwamba miradi yote ya serikali ya wizara zote, barabara, maji, stima, inaendelea. Na kama kuna kasoro yoyote, kwa mfano ugundue ya kwamba contractor ametoka kwa site, upige ripoti mara moja ili hatua ichukuliwe.
During the event, Kindiki reassured Kenyans of the government's commitment to the swift completion of ongoing development projects, underscoring the administration's focus on enhancing infrastructure to support economic growth.
Watu ambao wanatoka sehemu hii, zile kazi ndogo ndogo za hapa zipewe watu ambao wanatoka katika hiyo sehemu.
The leaders called on Kenyans to unite for a common goal of building a prosperous nation.
Tukiendelea na umoja, watu kutoka sehemu hata zingine wataweza kufika hapa Central ili tuwe na Kenya moja. Tusiwe ni Kenya ambayo tuko na migawanyiko mingi.
Now, 4 suspects who are believed to have been part of a group of more than 15 individuals who allegedly planned, abducted, assaulted and sodomized a 25-year-old blogger in Mombasa were arraigned at the Shanzu Law Court in Mombasa. The 4, namely Abdul Hassan, Haji Babu, Esther Muthoni and Violet Adera, who appeared before Senior Resident Magistrate Robert Mbogo, denied the charges. They were facing charges of conspiracy to commit a felony and abduction with the intent to confine. Abdul Hassan and Haji Babu had additional charges of gang rape and assault with the intention to cause actual body harm. The blogger was allegedly sexually abused following a social media video he posted that is said to have angered a top county official. The accused persons were remanded at the Shimolatewa Remand Prison, awaiting the ruling on their bail application set for Thursday this week.
Nia ya kumzuia kisiri kinyume na sheria. Abdul Hassan, unakubali au unakataa? Nakataa. Haji Babu, unakubali au unakataa? Nakataa. Esther Muthoni, unakubali au unakataa? Nakataa. Violet Adera, unakubali au unakataa? Shtaka la 3, mnashtakiwa na kosa la ulawiti kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ni kwamba tarehe 12 Septemba mahali pasipojulikana katika kaunti ya Mombasa, ukiwa na wengine ambao hawamo hapa kotini, ulisababisha uume wako kuingia katika tupu ya nyuma ya mtuhumiwa katika kesi hii. Unakubali au unakataa?
Nakataa. We have applied for bond. We do apply for bond with an alternative of cash bail.
It is taken or presumed that the prosecution had considered bond as a right, and that's why we went first, to indicate to the court that indeed we filed an affidavit in opposition of that right.
Investigations which are still underway to arrest the remaining suspects, record statements, including that of Mombasa County Governor, his mother and other senior prominent government officials who have intelligence reports that they are assisting some of the suspects to go into hiding, and this can be confirmed by their communication, which has gone off air.
May justice be served. Now, to matters business, farmers and other creditors owed by the Ministry of Agriculture will be paid by the end of June next year. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Andrew Karanja says the move is part of a raft of measures aimed at reducing the ministry's expenditure that targets to keep pending bills at a below 1% of the total budgetary allocation.
The Ministry of Agriculture says it is planning to pay an estimated 500 million shillings it owes to maize farmers, among other pending bills, by the end of June next year. In a raft of measures aimed at reducing pending bills, the ministry says it will ensure that money owed to suppliers and creditors will not be more than 1% of the total budgetary allocations.
And if there is to be any pending bills at any given point in time, it should not exceed 1% of the annual budgetary provision.
We have to work together so that we get the 100%. It will not be easy, but we have to work to that.
To increase efficiency, the ministry is planning to digitize all its operations this financial year.
This ministry has onboarded a total of 1,411 services.
Digitization is expected to increase targeted interventions in the agriculture value chain by increasing donor fund utilization.
We cannot have farmers being told to do ABCD and other things. We want to facilitate farmers to do whatever they are supposed to do, grow crops, market them in a better way.
The ministry is also seeking to increase e-voucher system and fertilizer subsidy provision by 50% during the same period.
The number of farmers on the e-voucher program will also be increased by 50% as at 30th June 2025.
They were speaking during the ministerial performance contract commitments for 2024-2025 financial year.
Now we focus on sports, where Football Kenya Federation has unveiled a 5-member electoral board ahead of the FKF national elections set to be held in December this year. The board is chaired by Hesbon Owila.
The electoral board members were selected by the delegates during the FKF special general meeting held on the 24th of last month. Chairing the board will be Hesbon Owila, who promised to conduct a free and fair election.
I'm confident in the team that you have before you here, because we have sat down, we have understood the whole process, we've known each other, and we are happy that the confidence that was bestowed on us by the NEC and the National Delegates Conference is a confidence that all of us have agreed to take and to see that this process runs to its conclusion.
Other members sitting on the electoral board include Sports Journalists Association of Kenya President James Waindi, Alfred Nganga, Dan Mule and Marceline Sande, who will serve as the Secretary General.
So we understand that this moment means so much to the football community in Kenya, to the young kids growing up knowing that football is something that can offer a professional livelihood. We know football represents hope, renewal, and the promise of a thriving economic ecosystem almost everywhere, and an opportunity for football stakeholders to run football in this country presents itself with the unveiling of this board.
Farida Lucia Juma and Robert Akumwasembo are the standby members. The newly unveiled board will now embark on preparing and conducting the national FKF elections slated for December this year.
Let's go global, where North Korea defeated Japan 1-0 to win the third Women's Under-20 World Cup in Colombia. Chloe's son was the hero as she netted a brilliant winner in the 15th minute to hand North Korea the trophy. Chloe won the golden ball, while silver ball went to Japan's Manaka and bronze ball to USA's Ali Santor. Korea shocked several big favorites on the road to glory in Bogota, including the USA and Brazil. Korea now joins Germany and the USA as the only 3-time champions at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. It was Japan's third successful final in the competition, but they have now surrendered defeat in the last 2 editions. Poland will host the next edition of the Under-20 Women's World Cup in August 2026.
And the shot over the top from Sin Hyang. And that's it. Wild celebrations for the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Their third global title at this level of the women's game, and fully deserved. And DPR Korea win the trophy, beating Japan in the final by 1-0.
Congratulations to the ladies now. Now back home is that Father Sahaya Selvam and the Salesians of Don Bosco have officially commenced a week-long fundraising walk from Subukia Shrine to the Shrine of Mary Help of Christians in Upper Hill. Now the 221-kilometer walk for 7 days is expected to raise funds to set up a modern spirituality center specifically designed to foster a youth-friendly environment in the heart of Nairobi. It also aims to educate and evangelization efforts within the region, focusing particularly on the youth of Africa. The participants who have embarked on this particular journey, the Salesians, are calling on the community and supporters to contribute to this worthy cause.
I'm Father Sahaya Selvam, a Salesian of Don Bosco. We Salesians of Don Bosco, we focus on youth the holistic formation. So one of the intentions of this pilgrimage and walk of 221 kilometers from Subukia National Shrine to the Shrine of Mary of Christians is to gather funds to build a youth-friendly, holistic spirituality center at the Shrine of Mary of Christians, and we call that Marian Shrine Spirituality Center. Welcome and support us in whatever way you can. And this whole pilgrimage, 12 of us will walk the whole distance for 8 days, and we arrive on the 28th of September this month, next Saturday in Nairobi. So we stop our stopovers for the nights are parishes, Catholic parishes. Today we are walking 32 kilometers from Subukia to Dunduri. Then the next day from Dunduri to Wolkalau, and then Manunga. From Manunga to Engineer, North Kinangop Parish, and then from Kinangop to Magumu, then Kamirithu, DBS Karen, and on the last day 16 kilometers from DBS Karen to Upper Hill. So 8 days walk. Yeah.
Indeed, walking there for a worthy cause there, and if you're a Catholic especially, you know that the shrine in Subukia for its healing powers and such purposes. That puts a cap on matters in the headlines this morning on Good Morning Kenya. I leave in the capable hands of Victor as he unpacks what is happening in the political scene, especially with that censure motion